Hey guys, welcome to 3 Mississippi. We live. We live. I think, although it's not putting the time right now, so that's odd. There it goes. Okay. That was weird. It was being delayed and weird. Hopefully it's working all right. Ridge Life, what's going on? Tim is in the house. What's happening? Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. Hello. Steve Walker says, "You're not the only one here, Tim." Yeah, I know. He was for a second. Not anymore. They're trickling in. Hello, Auntie Anne, Junk to Gems, Homestead. Hello, Alex. Hello. Hello, everyone. Ryan Kelly. Hello, guys. Jerry Jones. Hello. David Glunt. Hello. I finally found a good spot to hang the wood thing you did. I have it hanging in the living room. So it looks good in there. Dot Roper, hello. Mike might be making a diva entrance. Yeah, he was hunting. He did go out, like, he got out of work with like 10 minutes to go like try to hunt. But there was nothing out there when he snuck out there. So he came back sans deer tonight, but he got out there like literally sunset was officially at like 4:54 and he like walked out there at like 5:03. So he had like a few minutes to get out there, but not much tonight. Not much tonight, unfortunately. I hope everybody had a really Merry Christmas with their friends and family. We had a nice Christmas over here. I feel like I'm still kind of like recovering from the weeks of craziness leading up to it. There was lots going on at church and just lots happening. And so I still feel like I'm sort of catching up on sleep, I guess. But I don't know, next week I'll start taking Christmas down and getting it all put away till next year at Halloween when it comes out again. I know, I'm crazy. 2 old people on a couch. What's going on? Auntie Anne says, yes, had a great Christmas. That's awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, we're lucky enough. We have our neighbors that have just adopted us, and so we spent part of Christmas morning and into the afternoon with them, and had Christmas Eve with them after service at church, and so it was nice. It was very nice. Very. Jake Howard says, ready to move out to the country, but wife is worried she will be lonely without neighbors. Jake, I completely understand her worry. I felt the same way. I was terrified when we moved that I would not meet anybody or make friends with anybody. I had that in my head that it was going to take me a year to make a friend, that I would feel like a good friend, you know? And it happened within the first week that I was here. You just don't know. I'm not saying that's going to be the case for everybody, but it's a valid fear. It's a valid concern. You know, our neighbors, it's not like you're packed in, you know, and when you're further out, sometimes your neighbor is, you know, could be a mile or two away, depending on how your properties are laid out, you know. But, you know, get involved at your church, meet people that way, you know, enlist local businesses for things that you need when you're looking for things, and network that way because you'll meet people that way within your town. And that's really the only advice I can give, is just kind of throw yourself into it. And if it's something that you're committed to, as far as this is the kind of lifestyle you want, the rest will follow, because you'll find people in your area that are like-minded or that you get along with, and you just kind of have to put yourself out there. But I do understand her concern, because I was worried the same. I was very concerned about that. Love putting up the tree, but I hate taking it back down. I do too. And it's just I'm not trying to make comments go away. There we go. Yeah. I dread putting everything away, But at the same time, I also, because I do like a nice deep clean before I put all the decorations out, and then when I take everything down, I do another deep clean. So I do kind of like that aspect of it because I'm like, okay, now everything's clean. It's sort of like a reset for the rest of winter, you know? So Jinky V says, you are flourishing through Mississippi. Thank you. Yeah, we definitely, like I said, we got very blessed and very lucky with where we ended up. I don't know if you could call it a neighborhood where we are because of, we are out in the sticks, but the property that neighbors us happens to be this amazing family that just sort of took us in and just been very, very, very beyond blessed with that. So, and that's not going to be the situation for everybody, but it was for us, and I'm very grateful for it. So, is that Mike on sits right? This is Sky. Her my little Sky. She's sleeping. Frankie dropped macaroni and cheese on her head earlier, and now she's got a crusty spot on her fur. But I got one of those for Christmas from my friend Jen. She got me one of those things that you can brush and vacuum your dog at the same time. So I have been vacuuming these dogs like every day. And they're okay with it, but it's not their favorite thing. So they all the animals were good for Santa, that's right. All our neighborhood all has 1 acre lots, so neighbors so we have neighbors, but just not that close. Yeah, that's how a lot of places are, I think. And like even here, all of us on this side and around this corner have like, well, not all of us, but a few of us have, more acreage. And then some just have a little bit, but because the houses are closer to the road, we're not that far from each other, but we have areas obviously further out, if that makes sense. So, you know. Philip Ryder says, thumbs up, you all. That's right. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's always a good reminder. Hi, Wanda Henry. Hello. Out and about with Dave and Daisy. Hey, everybody. Hope y'all had a great Christmas. I think everybody did. I hope everybody did. So far, people have been saying they had a good Christmas. Nobody said it was terrible. So that's good. We all need to meet up and raid Cold Beer Ranch 2.0 soon. I know. I'm like, it's probably what made you think of it. Is I'm wearing a cold beer shirt today. Yeah. Yeah, I got my Three Mississippi hoodie over it, but I was outside in the cold earlier, messing around with the horse and taking my e-bike for a ride. Yesterday, I fell off of it because uh apparently I don't know what happened, but anyway, the throttle assist kicked in when I was off the bike and I was trying to move it, and it took off while I was still holding it, and I went with the bike, and I now have giant bruises all down my shin on one side, but I don't know what I did wrong, but it was comical. I'm pretty sure she's wearing her Ridge Life socks with say thong, but that would be inappropriate. Oh my. You're having your Christmas tomorrow, two old people on a couch? Is that when your family's coming up, I take it? Drew's Lens, what's going on? I'm not wearing my Ridge Life socks. I don't have Ridge Life socks. Mike drinks out of his Ridge Life cup all the time, and I use my koozie on occasion. And then, of course, I have my Ridge Life shirts that are in my rotation, but it's been so cold that I haven't been wearing t-shirts. I've been wearing sweatshirts and sweaters and things like that. So I have my what do I have? I think I have unicorn grippy socks on right now. See, I have unicorn grippy socks. I love me some grippy socks. They make me happy because I fall a lot. So, and I usually wear shoes. I have my Crocs on, but like always, these are my house Crocs. So I always have shoes on. I don't like to be barefoot. I don't know why. So if I don't have my shoes on, I at least have socks on. But I like the grippies because otherwise I'll, you know. You need some more honey and some of his special venison jerky. No doubt we do. Mike made some really good venison jerky. And we ate off that, but yeah, we need more. We need more. He's gotta go catch a deer. Mr. MT Homestead, what is going on? I love it. I love it. I love my grippy socks in the winter with hardwood floors. Exactly. Yep. There's carpet in most of like in the hallway upstairs and up the stairs, but I still trip on the stairs almost daily. Uh, and eventually I want to take the carpet off of them and put wood. So I imagine I'll fall a lot more then. But I hate carpet. So like when you have animals, you can't really have carpet. I feel like those two things do not go hand in hand at all. Like not even a little bit. Oh, I can't go barefoot in the summer. I wear flip-flops in the house in the summer. I don't like it. I don't know. I know. Well, he went hunting the other night with our neighbor on his land, and it was actually on Christmas Day, and they went out to this one area, and they were literally he got video of deer just literally walking right in front of them, but they decided they were waiting for, like, a big buck or something that day. They decided they only saw does walking, and so they decided not to shoot any because it was so cool that they were just, like, literally walking right up to them, so they just kinda stayed there, but "Hello, hiking with Jackie boy. What's going on?" So they decided to just, hang out and watch the deer for a while. So he'll have more opportunities in the next week or two to get out there and do some more real hunting, sneaking up grunt style in the bushes like he likes to do. So he doesn't do all the like climb up in a tree and sit and wait and just he likes to get out there and old school like he used to do. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. See, I'm trying to catch up with the comments here. I think I got behind. Yeah, right, video or it didn't happen. He did get video. It's on his phone still, so I don't have it because he showed it to me, I saw it, but I don't have possession of the footage, but I'm sure that he will give it to me and I will insert it into a video at some point here. So uh-oh, yo, Auntie Anna Coke there, Ridge Life. Y'all saying that at the same time. No video or it didn't happen. I know. There's so many times though, and I'm sure Tim and those of you in here with channels can relate. There's times where you're like, man, I wish I would have gotten video, or I wish I would have been filming, or I wish I had my phone with me when this happened. Because sometimes you're just in the moment and things are happening and you're doing something with an animal, or like today, I was out, I happened to be filming, but I was really far away, so it's gonna be kinda grainy because I was way far away. But Kusi climbed on top of the goat's new round bale, and his butt was hanging off of it, and he was just, like, chilling on top of this hay bale, and then he climbed all the way up on it and stood on it, and then he decided it was a really good idea to jump off the top of it when he saw me because he got excited, and then he didn't hurt himself, but he like rung his bell a little bit, and then he was kind of like limping for a minute, and I was like, "You're fine. You're fine." Will Mike get a deer before I put out a dozer video? Oh, I'm sure he will, because that dozer video just don't exist. So I'm sure it's gonna happen. Navy guy acting like an army guy. That's right. He loves to get out there and roll around in the bushes and whatever. All that good stuff. Drew's Lynn says, "Did you make it home, Gary? You must have been out traveling again there." Junk to gyms would be my guess. I've been so out of the loop on everybody's videos and whatever the last few weeks. Just trying to do my own videos and get things ready for the holidays. As the mom, a lot of times you're orchestrating the food and the this and the that and getting everybody where they need to be. So definitely definitely a bit behind this week for sure. He's a pretty good deer hunter, though, I will say. He has definitely gotten his fair share over the years. I mean, that was how they ate when he was a kid. If he didn't get a deer, then they didn't eat. If he didn't fish, they didn't eat. If he didn't go out and hunt or gather it, they didn't have meat. So he's pretty good about that. So that's pretty exciting stuff, I guess, when you're, back then when he was off grid, before off grid was cool. Now he very much likes the grid, which I don't blame him. I very much like the grid as well, the creature comforts. Mike and David's creek was up, and I wasn't about to try and cross the other one. Uh-oh. Sounds like you stuck then. Sounds like you stuck, Gary. Oh, my word. Lila says hello to Terry and Mike. The CBs don't act like Army guys. Just the crawl part. But that's like Navy SEAL action. That's like, putting the war paint on and crawling in the bushes, But did Frankie get over her bug? Yes, she did. She is much better. In fact, today she was out taking down the last 2 rows of the old garden and pulling out the old okra bushes and clearing out some of the old tomato plants that were still, they had done about half of it, but there was still a little bit, and there was no rush to do that. But it wasn't hot today like it's been, and it wasn't raining, so it was one of those, like, so he asked her to go do some of that, and then she had taken a load out to the compost pile with the tractor, and she did a couple other things out there. So she got and she got to play with her horse for a little bit today, so that was good. I did. I did say Mike was like a Navy SEAL. He's like a ninja. If you've never seen Mike in full stealth mode, you have not really lived. That man can sneak up on things like you wouldn't believe. Now, if he's not trying to, he's like a bull in a china shop, right? Like I can hear him stomping around the house and he thinks he's being quiet, but it's mainly because he doesn't care. But when he's in like mode, that man, like he can sneak behind a tree and not make the leaves crackle under his feet. Like he's just like a ninja. But there he is, speaking of the ninja. I heard him emerge. Yeah, he is like a little Navy SEAL. We won't say Army crawl, we'll say Navy SEAL. He gets in there and sneaks up on all the things, and he sneaked up on me 20 some odd years ago, didn't you, honey?
What's up? Talking smack?
No, I was talking good things. Tim was talking smack. I was talking good things.
Oh, if Tim's talking, he's talking smack. Come on, Sky.
Guys, you gotta move, baby. You gotta move so Daddy can sit down. Oh, she's
Take
like
your
a
time.
95-year-old woman over here. She can't get up off the couch. Now you get on the side. There you go.
All right. What's going on?
People, things. I guess I could move this a little closer. I feel like it got really far away. There we go.
Really far away.
Really far away.
So who's all in here?
All the people. David Glunt, Auntie Ann, Greg. He says, hey, Mike.
What up?
Thank you, Gary Ball. Says, Happy New Year. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I did go deer hunting today for like 5 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah, I was going to say.
It was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, well.
It was, but the rut's in full swing right now, so down here. So I've got to at least get out there.
Moonshine from a mason jar. That's just water. That'd be a lot of moonshine.
That'd be some serious moonshine.
That would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the rut's in full swing right now. So, the regular style of hunting does not apply this week. And big bucks can get done this week. And, like I've said before, I'm not a trophy hunter. I'm a meat hunter. But during that week, during that rut, it's like, be out there as much as you can, because if a big, mature buck presents itself during that time frame, would I hang it on the wall?
Big mature buck right here. Yeah. I won't mount you on the wall. I mean, unless you cross the line, then I might. But Mike, did you watch Tim's live from last night? I think that's supposed to be he spoke. He spoke of you a good bit. I'm sure it wasn't good things though.
No, Tim's never got anything good to say about me. That's all right. Yeah, right there. He says Mike does more deer looking than deer hunting. Yeah, I mean, dude, I almost pet one the other night.
Yeah, I was telling them.
In fact, I was gonna shoot her just because she was about to smoke me. I mean, she got so close to me that there was no way she wasn't about to see me and bleat.
Tim says he loves Mike.
But luckily, because the wind was coming up the hill, and I was hunting in some kind of nasty terrain, and over on a friend of a neighbor's property, and so I'd hiked down into this ravine and kind of found one of those bent over trees that goes up like this, and I got myself tucked up in there, and I'm watching down this hillside, and there was a couple of good trails that were coming up, one on my right and one almost right in front of me, and I probably had like 70 yards of visitability this way, and probably like 40 or 50 yards this way. It was a little bit thicker over there, but this was definitely not a bedding area. It was more, kind of like those thin woods, what I would call a transition area.
15 feet, not 15 inches.
Right, whatever that was all about.
I don't know. It was something.
Whatever, I would call it kind of a transition woods area.
Oh, he had two,
but not a bedding area. And in fact, I got some good video on my phone. I'll make some kind of a video out of it.
Well, I was just talking about that. I was like, you'll probably give me the footage and I'll insert it into.
Yeah, I'll do something
video.
with it.
Yeah,
but
because it was pretty cool footage.
How to use it is I'm not sure, but anyway, so I'm sitting there, and another Ross, our neighbor, was hunting the same like 80 acres, but in a different spot, and we were both wearing orange. So if I could see the direction he was in, I mean, I would have been able to see him. Bottom line is, when she came up, I saw her coming up when she was probably like 40 or 50 yards from me. And I was like, I'm not going to take a doe today because it's so much work to get down into this spot. And it'd be so much work to get a deer out of this spot.
Hi, Kelly.
That today I'm down here to see if a big buck makes a dumb move because the rut's in play. And so anyway, so she keeps coming up the hill, and I was like, wow, she's going to get really close to me. And the wind's blowing right in my face. And so she comes up, and she gets to where she's probably 20 yards beside me to the south. And then she decides to turn towards me and change her direction. And she's coming right at me. I mean, right at me. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to shoot this deer because as soon as she sees or smells me and bleats, I'm toast anyway. So I might as well put a deer in the freezer. So I wait until she hears a squirrel and looks away, and I get shouldered and I get safety off. And I'm like, all right. And I'm moving nothing but my eyes at that point. She looks back at me, and then she's doing this. She's like, something's not right, but she can't figure out what. Tail go. And then she puts her head down again. And then I promise you, she's 5 yards from me. She's 15 feet, 12 feet, maybe closer than 5 yards from me. Right there. And she decides to turn and go east. Well, at this point now she's about to get upwind of me, and I'm starting to get nervous. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to shoot her. Well, what happened was she gets about 5 feet that way, and she catches a whiff of something, and she bounces back this way, like 3 bounces. And I turned my head a little bit, which I think was some motion that she caught, but she caught it out of her peripheral, and she looked back at me, and she looks right at me. And I mean, I'm like, we're staring in each other's souls at this point. and then she kind of and the tail flickers, and then she turns and moves again. And something else spooked her. A leaf fell out of a tree or whatever. So instead of walking real slow, she sped up, and she got upwind of me by about 20 yards. And then I hear another deer off my right shoulder. And this one's now not looking at me, but she's a little further away. So I'm able to turn my head just a little, and sure enough, there's another doe over on this side of me. And then all of a sudden I hear noise back over here, and she had caught wind of me at that point. She had to, and she kind of took off running a little bit, but she never bleated. And then this one eventually got upwind of me, also ran off, but never bleated. And then a few minutes later, I saw another deer
Tim says
coming
he
up the
hears the
hill.
song from Deliverance playing with your description
I
of
know.
running down the woods.
I saw another doe through the woods, probably 30 yards from me. So I get my phone out and I'm texting Ross, and I'm like, dude, I'm surrounded by does right now. And about the time I was texting him, I caught that scent. I don't know if you guys know what a buck and rut smells like. Any of you guys that raise goats know what a goat in rut smells like?
It's funky.
Yeah, I caught that scent coming right in my face, and I just froze. I was like, there is a mature buck in rut somewhere close enough that I can smell it right now. So I put my phone back down and I get back, kind of lean into the tree, knowing full well that if I can smell it with a human nose, it has to be exactly downwind of me. I mean, in a perfect line. It can't be that far away. So I'm tucked in and I'm waiting for a sight at whatever this dude is, and saw two more does. Never saw him. So I don't know where he was or how far away he was. Um, I caught up with Ross after the fact. We met back up at the truck because we parked a ways away and we both just kind of split and went on foot. We met back up at the truck and he saw a little basket rack buck. Um, and we both pinned our locations on Onyx Hunt. So we were able to compare where we were. And Ross was about 100 yards south and to the west of me. So we could have seen some of the same deer. They were coming kind of between us. But anyway, it was so much fun. I'm gonna tell you. So that yeah, I have been doing more deer watching than deer hunting. I would call it hunting. I've been. It's the same thing. I've been hunting. I just haven't been doing
The
any deer
shooting
shooting lately.
Yeah. Nope. None of the bring
Yeah.
it home part.
So, but I'm gonna tell you, there is not there's not much in this world that is as exciting as getting that close to a deer. I mean, I could have killed that deer with a knife probably. Um, it's pretty exciting. It's exciting to get that close to a deer. Um, but
Gotta catch a deer.
yeah, I've been talking and not reading.
That's all right. David Glunt says that he's seen your target shooting and you're pretty good. And
Yeah,
he
I
seems
saw.
pretty good.
Uh,
Hi, our mountain home. We love y'all. Just listening while we cook. I love it. Stanley family says, shoot 'em.
shoot them.
Shoot 'em.
Yeah, I, I mean, I could have shot that
That's
doe.
true. Deer watching does make good B-roll when you're peppering it into other videos for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Got deer in town walking around. They don't care all hours of the day here in Texas. I mean, there's areas like that here where you'll see them like on the trace because they know. I swear they know
Oh yeah.
nobody can shoot them on the trace. And so I had one step out in front of me in the truck, a nice basket on it. Just step. It was on the line. It was standing on the white line on the shoulder, and I saw it coming up. And then right when I start to get close to it, of course, it steps out into the road. So I flashed my lights at it, which like startled it awake, and it like took off. So
yeah, that's right. To a good deer hunter,
So
it
I
doesn't
didn't hit
matter
it.
what size rifle. That's true. And in fact, it's funny you say that, David. I'm working on a video right now. Spoiler alert. Um, about the importance of a 22 long rifle from a prepper's point of view. So since I've said that out loud, um, don't go try to shoot the same idea before I put it out, Tim. What am I talking about? I don't have to worry about that. You still haven't done your dozer
Exactly.
video. But no, the reality is more deer have probably been killed with a
Don't be
22
too
long
mean to
rifle.
Tim because he says he does have some jerky for us and some more honey. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
So you can't be too mad at Tim.
I'm not mad at Tim.
No, I know you're not. Just teasing.
But yeah, I do agree that.
Junod Acres Homestead. Hey guys, hope you had a good Christmas. Yes, I hope you did as well.
Oh man,
Had one jump over my side by side while driving down a back road, says Grumpy Grandpa. Oh my goodness. I spooked one out of the horse pasture the other day across, and it like ran across the creek down and into Silver. But
yeah, that's a pretty well traveled spot right there where you jumped that one.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about hunting that area. It's so close to the house and the
And the
road
road, yeah, it is super close to them.
that I just haven't.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's deer to be taken moving
yeah.
through that spot.
Those are the deer you'd have to like really like fully go Navy SEAL and like garrote it on its way through so that you don't.
I don't know who you think's gonna do that bullshit. It's not gonna be me. uh, yeah, a lot of deer have been taken with a 22 long rifle. A lot of deer, and look, and 22 mag. Hey, it's a great round, but for the purpose of the video I'm doing, it is not the one I'm recommending because of just availability of the bullets. So anyway, it's gonna be a good video. I've been scratching out a bunch of notes on my thoughts on it, and I'm gonna shoot it sometime this week. I'm gonna be doing a series probably of videos, kind of peppering them in along with the stuff that Sid's working on about firearms of choice, my recommendations, what everybody should have, what bullets people should be stockpiling, and which ones they shouldn't. Um, so, of course, all my opinion, and
It's all conjecture.
I'm quite sure that it differs greatly with Tim from Ridge Life's opinion. So I look forward to that. Maybe I'll do it as a premiere so we can debate.
Have a debate while it's happening. Yeah. The best deer rifle is the one you own. That's right. That's true, Ridge Life. That's true. You're so quiet.
22. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm reading. Yeah. Yeah, 22 mags are expensive. They are, no doubt. And they have their place. I mean, I'm planning on buying a 22 mag. I don't even own a 22 mag rifle. I'm planning on getting one, but it's not something that I will stockpile a lot of ammo for, you know. But the best deer rifle is the one you know. That's right.
and the one you
Okay.
use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the one you use.
Mm.
Um,
He's been shooting lots of deer, but he's been shooting them with the camera.
yeah,
He didn't shoot them with the gun.
yeah. Look, I mean, yeah. I mean, I loved having debates about deer hunting, but I don't have anything to prove. If I can get video footage of a deer, 12 feet away
Yeah.
from me, I'm not really worried about anybody telling me whether or not I can kill a deer. not even,
I know
not even
you
worried
can.
about it.
I know you can. We've
Yeah.
eaten the venison to prove it. So. Hello, Larry. That's all right. Better late than never, right? That's all good. It's all good.
50 BMG. What are we talking about a 50 BMG for?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big. That's not a deer rifle. No. Um, Never killed a deer with a spear before. No, me either. That would be pretty intense. Um, but that weapon has killed more deer than anything else since we've been here. Uh, maybe, I don't know. Uh, I don't know how historians would even really be able to figure that out, the accuracy of that statement. But the reality is, hunters many hundreds of years ago were far more legit hunters than we are nowadays. I will agree with that 100%.
Junod Acres Homestead says, do you guys process your own deer? Yes. In fact, he not only processes his own with Frankie when they get them, but he does the one neighbors of ours too.
Yeah, he baled some hay off of our land with his equipment and his time, so I process his deer.
Yeah, they have like a deal.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah, and I'll make whatever sausage they want or whatever. When we get to that part, I'll do that part, and it works out. So yeah, it's not. I mean, we've always processed our own, our own birds, our own pigs, our own sheep.
About the only animal that I can think of that I haven't processed that's an animal that we would eat is beef. I've never processed a steer.
We never got around to processing a goat either, but it's pretty similar to processing out a.
Oh, but yeah, but I have processed goats in the past.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And sheep.
Yeah,
lots
sheep,
of deer.
Obviously. Yeah.
Of course, all your small game, but I've never Never processed a steer. That's just a lot of weight, you know. I mean, you
You
gotta
have
have
to have the equipment
special
for it.
equipment to
Yeah.
be able to move
Yeah.
that kind of a slab of meat around.
That's what she said.
I kill deer with my stare, says who? Chadril. Chadril.
Yeah. Chuck Norris is the only person I know that can take a deer with a 6.5. Something, what does it say? Eye loads it and deer fall. This is Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Frankie's done it too.
Done what?
Got a deer with it.
6.5. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see you trying to make a Chuck Norris joke there, which, by the way, wasn't a very good one. But I would almost bet money that an equal amount of deer have been killed with a 6.5 Creedmoor in the last 2 to 3 years as have a 308. It has become an extremely popular rifle for a lot of good reason. And
Neil S says, Mike, what is your choice for a semi-auto?
I mean, it depends. My favorite semi-auto is a 22 long rifle, the Ruger 1022. My second favorite is probably an AR 5.56, and that's just because I like to be able to just, I mean, you can reacquire with a 5.56 quick and get back on, and that would be for coyotes. As far as deer rifles go, I don't own a single semi-automatic deer rifle. I did own a Browning semi-automatic 30-06 many years ago, but I see no need in a semi-automatic rifle for big game hunting. A bolt action is always my choice.
1022 all the way, says the Stanley family.
Yeah, 1022 is, I think, the most important rifle in the world. Everyone should have one or two of them or more, and thousands of rounds of 22 long rifle. And I promise you, and Tim, you can make all the jokes you want about this. If I had to feed my family with a 22 long rifle, it wouldn't even be a struggle. I could kill. I would kill deer no problem with a 22 long rifle. So.
And squirrel.
Oh yeah.
You can get a lot of squirrel with them. Totally agree, he says Tim from Ridge Life.
Men wait to pin up their man bun. Shoot the 6.5 Creedmoor. That's cool. Hey, and I'll tell you. Well, I can easily laugh off what Tim's saying because, as far as I'm concerned, a submariner who has done a little bit of hunting is just not an authority on the subject. So.
He's not gonna give you any jerky if you're
It's
not
like owning a 308 and having never fired it beyond 200 yards is like owning a Hellcat and never driving
it over 60.
past the speed limit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how ridiculous that is. So that's fine. But I'll tell you, while we're on the subject of guns that are not 308s, and anybody in here that hasn't
never beyond 150 yards, he says.
Yeah, okay. Anybody in here that hasn't been in the banter with Tim and I, it's all in good fun, and I'm definitely not hating on the 308. I think it's an awesome gun. That's not where this came from. It came from Tim not accepting change and feeling like you have to keep the 308 and you can never own a 6.5 Creedmoor, basically. But while we're on that subject, I predict over the next couple of years, the 350 Legend is going to become all the rage. In fact, I think a 350 Legend is a gun that Tim from Ridge Life needs to go buy tomorrow because it is absolutely not designed to shoot hundreds of yards. I mean, I think you probably could shoot it out to 300 or more yards, but it is really designed to be a 200-yard deer rifle, and it's a straight cased .30 caliber. It's actually like a 357 Magnum with a 30-30-ish case behind it.
Shiloh
And
Acres, member for 5 months. Merry Christmas and excellent choir upload. Thank you.
oh, thanks. Yeah, so I'm probably going to build a 350 Legend on an AR platform soon. It'll probably be my next build. And if not, then I may buy an Axis 2 or something, like a kind of a semi-budget deer rifle in a 350 Legend, just because I'm very interested in how it's really gonna perform. I think a 150-yard deer rifle, it's gonna be the smokingest thing you can use. That's my opinion.
Larry says, do you reload your own ammo? No,
I
he
do
does
not.
not.
If you're oh, now we got rifles identifying as other rifles. Why
Yeah.
not, man? It's 2023. I mean, my
Right?
6.5 Creedmoor actually identifies as a 4570. You know, like just it does. So therefore it is. You know.
My 30-06 will be good for the Nephilim.
Right. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of research on that Legend yet, but with a projectile that large, I mean, we're talking like probably 180, maybe 200 grains. I don't know, heavy, big, 357 diameter, inside of 200 yards. I mean, the foot pounds that thing's going to hit with is going to be incredible.
Ace says, what did y'all get for Christmas? He got the front and back windshield for the Polaris.
Yep.
That I installed that he didn't see for 2 weeks. So the bow wasn't on it by the time he finally found it. And he discovered that it had a back windshield on it by trying to not seeing it, obviously. And he's used to being able to put his hand through it and grab stuff out of the back seat. So he tried to put his hand through it and
no, I just tried to grab the post.
Oh, I thought you tried to put your hand through it.
So Frankie and I were out there, and I hadn't driven the side by side in like 2 weeks at this point. And I went and got me one of those Fitbit watches, right? So I've been trying to get my steps up. So every single day, when I would go to do something, go down to the garden or walk out to or drive out to the deer plots or whatever, I would say, nope,
I'm gonna walk.
I'm gonna walk. It's 200 yards, 400-yard round trip. That's a good bit of steps. I'm gonna walk. So I literally did not start that Polaris up for 2 weeks. Got a lot of steps in those 2 weeks. But then I was looking for some tools to go to Frankie's school to work on this ag project. And I walked up to the side of the Polaris and I went to grab the cab post, to just kind of pull myself, lean into the back, and my hand hit something. And I look up, and for a second I was like, do we have a back window in the Polaris? Because people have been telling me, if you're going to get a windshield, get a back window also. Otherwise, you get this vortex effect. And so I'm thinking, have we always had a back window in the Polaris? We only need a windshield then? Because that was like a considerably difference in the cost. And I look and I'm like, wait a minute, there's a windshield. And Frankie's standing there looking at me, like working this out in my brain, like the hamster's just running circles in a wheel while I'm looking at this thing, and she just starts laughing. And I was like, when did we get a windshield?
Yeah.
She's like, well, your mom got it for you for early Christmas present, but then you didn't notice it.
Your mom?
Or my mom. Mom. Just mom.
Just mom.
Yeah.
The wife. Whatever I am.
Yeah.
But Mike got me a beautiful unfinished, so I can stain it, paint it, whatever color I want it, front porch swing. Because when we first looked at the house, there's a swing there, but they took that with them when they moved, but the hooks are still there. And he said he measured it, so it's like the same width for this one spot on the porch. So I'm excited about that little project.
Yeah, Tim's picking on Frankie now. I'm gonna tell her. He's picking on a little girl.
Oh yeah. Well, he he has to punch down.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he's going to be effective, pick on somebody your own size, right? So that's cool. Um, yeah,
We love you, Tim.
Frankie did shoot a coyote with her deer rifle, and we did not find the coyote. She shot it right on the fence line of some extremely thick brush.
He says, disclaimer, I have never shot a 6.5 nor shot a deer or attempted to shoot one greater than 150 yards. That's true. Well, maybe we'll have to change that. We'll have to let him shoot.
Well, first of all, when he comes here for Freedom Weekend, I'm gonna have a range set up that is like I'll have 100 yards, 200 yards, and 300 yards, or something like that. And we don't even have to have a competition. We can just have a friendly shoot day. And
he said, never. Frankie would slaughter a yote with a 30-30, 308, or a 30-06. She could get it with anything. She's a good shot.
Yeah, trust me, the rifle would have made no difference in this. It was a moving yote. She wound up catching it she gut shot it. It was going to get away no matter what you shot it with for a little while. It didn't make it long, but I just didn't feel like diving into that thick, heavy brush to go find it. So it just wasn't worth it for me.
One shot per round, maker's mark. And then you got to spin in a circle 3 times and then pick up your rifle and shoot. Is that how that game is played? I don't know. And then nobody was ever wanted to come back to 3 Mississippi ever again.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to do some long range shooting. And by long range, I mean medium range, 300 yards. When you come down here, Tim. I mean, there's no need to really shoot. I could set up a 600 or 700 yard range out here, but none of us are ever shooting that far again. I mean, I used to, but I'm never shooting that far again. But it would be nice to, it's good if you have a 308 to be confident in a shot out to 300 yards. And that's just a matter of a little bit of practice, and then that rifle is more than capable of it. So I mean, a 30-30 with open sights, if you're not shooting ever beyond 150 yards, is all you really need. Like if I go back down in that spot where those deer walked up on me and almost tried to let me pet them, I'll probably take my 30-30 down in there.
Gary at Jump to Jump said, shot 40 out of 40 in basic training. Got breakfast in bed. 1950 sea rats dropped on my crotch. I don't know what the last part means.
Yeah, I don't recall. I don't even recall basic training qualifications.
Yeah, I know. The same thing, Etienne. The heart thing blocks the dots, so you can't go right to it. You have to kind of sneak around it. It's kind of a pain. I get what you're saying. They reconfigured our screens without asking us. I know. They need to just ask Auntie Anne like how she wants the screen set up, because she is the ultimate moderator.
Yeah, she is.
So they just need to ask her. So Glenn and Shannon Salty Life says, I'll come up there for a 700-yard shot and miss it too.
Oh, I mean, I can't imagine shooting.
Old sea rats were in cans. Yards. What's a sea rat?
Ration.
Ration. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I get it now. I'm picturing like rats at sea.
No.
And I was like, okay. That makes more sense than breakfast in bed.
An old can of tuna or potted meat or whatever would be a sea rat, really. Are we getting pigs next year? We're actually not. I don't see us getting pigs again
not because we don't want them, but our neighbors have a hog farm and we spend a lot of time.
They have a commercial hog farm.
Yeah, commercial hog farm. So we can't go on their property, like where they like to hunt and fish.
Yeah.
They couldn't go over there if we had hogs. And so, and then they wouldn't be able to come over here. Like it's like a whole thing. So
Yeah.
we just decided, that's the one animal that my other friend who lives on the other side of town wants to do. So I'm like, you know what? We can help process out that hog. We
Yeah.
can cure out the bacon and whatever, and they can raise the
When
pigs.
you run a commercial hog operation, and I'm talking like 30 or 40 or 50,000 hogs at a time, um, there's just certain risks you can't take. And worms and some of the parasites that hogs can get are extremely dangerous and could wipe a business out like in a week. So um, if we were to have hogs here, they already told us like we just wouldn't be able to let you go hunt and fish on that property where the hog barns are because of the risk. And the same thing, like we would be nervous to come over and hang out on your property knowing you had hogs, um, just because of the risk. So I was like, you know what? I like hunting and fishing on their property. And I like them to feel comfortable to be able to come over here, and we don't need to raise hogs. So
That's interesting. So that Hawaii abolished the Second Amendment today. Evidently, Terrence would rather us not be able to do anything about it.
my 308 costs
I don't know.
less
I'll
than
have
his
to I'll
rifle
have to
brace.
look into that because I know there's a lot of things that get kind of twisted around in the media. So we'll see. But I'll have to look and see what the story was on that Morning Glory.
Just so you know, Tim, I actually have not shot a rifle or have
Hi,
not
Tim
shot a
Farms.
deer off that brace. I bought that brace for Frankie, and while we have spent plenty of time with the rifle on that brace in a blind, that is not how we've killed any of the deer we've killed so far. When the deer came out behind Frankie and she had to spin around in the blind and shoot through a secondary window, she was not able to move the brace, so she had to shoot it freehand. Both the deer that I shot, nope, I shot one off the brace last year. The one that when you were with me, that little spike that I shot,
Oh yeah,
I did shoot that off the brace.
we were far though.
For Tim, we were far. That was right at the edge of Tim's shooting ability. It was about 150 yards.
It
But
felt far.
but that other buck that I shot last year was freehand, and most of the deer that I've shot have been freehand. So, but the brace is nice to have. Look, if you're gonna be set up in a blind, which I haven't been hunting from a blind much this year, but if you're gonna be, have the brace there.
Jennifer.
Might as well.
The other half of Jennifer is in the house.
What's going on?
Jen.
What's going on? Jen used a camera tripod.
Said it didn't work too well, but she was still spot on.
Yeah, Frankie was going to use a camera tripod one time when the day she shot the coyote, some deer came out and they were about 200 yards out. And we had a little camera tripod there, and she was going to rest it on it and see if she could get steady. And I would have let her take that shot, but she wasn't feeling confident. She probably spent too much time watching Tim's videos or something. So she was like, no, in all reality, it was pushing it for her. 200 yards was pushing it a little bit. She didn't take a shot. We kept waiting. And if we hadn't shot that coyote, if she hadn't shot that coyote, she may have seen another deer that afternoon. But the bottom line was the camera tripod wasn't steady enough for her. It's kind of slippy slidey. But a fence post, the trunk of a tree. I prefer, my favorite way to shoot would be to lean up
skull
against
of your enemy.
That's right. Lean up against something steady like a tree and shoot freehand, which is not really freehand because this whole arm is steadied by that tree. That's my favorite way to shoot. I mean, you're rock solid like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I have to shoot freehand, I'm pretty confident out to a couple hundred yards. Beyond 200, I mean, we shot freehand 200 yards all the time in the military competitions. So 200-yard freehand at one time was just like, yeah, okay, fine. That's just a Monday. But it's been a long time.
Somebody was asking about my ear piercings because they thought, yeah, I have a lot on. I have that whole side done. These are all individual, and then I have a bunch on that side, and there's one up here and whatever. I'm actually getting another one tomorrow, but
Frankie's getting one tomorrow.
yep, she is. She's getting her
Who thinks that I'm
cartilage
a terrible
pierced.
dad for allowing my 13-year-old daughter to get this hoop up here on her top of her ear? I'm just curious. Not, I don't really care if you think that I'm a terrible dad for it. I'm just curious if you think that. It's not going
At
to
least
change
with
my
like,
opinion.
ear piercings is one of those things too that like if she doesn't like it, she can take it out and let it close up. It's not like we're taking her to get tattooed on her forehead tomorrow or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The mark of the beast.
Yeah, exactly.
Not happening.
I have the Tagus. That's right here. I'm getting the conch one tomorrow. So
What's it called?
conch?
No, what he said.
Tagus, that's this one.
Oh, that's not the one she's getting, right?
No. She's getting
getting
this
this one.
one.
Yeah.
It's a half industrial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, she just
Does she need another hole in the head?
yeah. That's where the 308 comes in. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I honestly I think anybody in here that enjoys the rifle conversations, you should go watch some videos tonight on the 350 Legend. I am extremely intrigued.
Jason said, I saw that you were trying to do Jeff's house stuff, but I didn't get to watch the video yet, but I saw he said he should have to make or I'm sorry, I can't talk. I should make a how not to run water to a tiny house video. Try again tomorrow. Oh no, at least you're trying to help him. I mean, maybe not successfully, but I mean, at least you're trying.
Hey, Drew, I'm gonna tell you what, man. You're not afraid to try stuff though. If it's so.
Don't worry, Tim. They'll just use a needle. They don't even use a gun for that anymore. When you go to a real place, like a real tattoo piercing shop, they use a needle. They do it by hand, so it's actually better for the tissue.
Right.
So there's no guns.
They do not use a 6.5 Creedmoor
No.
because they would likely miss or not go all the way through.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. It's not leaking real bad, but it's leaking somewhere. That's true.
Well,
it's leaking. That's all right.
All water leaks inside of a house are real bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's I guess it's all relative. If it gets cold enough, it won't leak because it'll freeze. So
yeah,
then he has. You're just helping him start his dream of becoming an Olympic figure skater.
There you go.
That's just look at it. Look at the bright side. That's it. Love you guys. Hope you have a happy new year and can't wait to see you soon.
We love you too, bro.
Love you too. And eventually meet Jen.
Hopefully we're not waiting until Freedom Weekend to see.
We'll see him at the meetup in May for sure.
Oh, that's right.
But I mean, maybe
the meetup at Blue whatever lake is before.
Yeah, but we'll see. Maybe on one of his trips out to see Morgan, he'll need to swing by and replenish his I don't know, like refill his water cup or something. Stop by and say hi.
Maybe.
You never know.
So, Morgan's not. School's out right now.
Well, but it goes back.
When's he go back to school? Probably next week.
I think no. It's it's like I think it's 2 weeks. Yeah, I think. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to bring Jen down to see Morgan and y'all soon.
That'd be awesome.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Plan a trip. Plan an extra day because otherwise you'll be down there with him and you won't even tell us you were here.
Yeah.
Because you won't have time.
Or he'll say I'm driving through West Point, want to grab something, and I'll be like, I can't. We're all in different places right now.
Yeah. No, I hope y'all do come down.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Oh, he goes back January 17th. Okay, there you go. So not for a couple more weeks.
That's cool.
All right, guys, it is time for us to skedaddly do.
Boogie woogie.
Don't forget to head over to Simple Life Reclaimed next and give them the loves and all the feels.
Drop a love bomb in there.
And then you got MT Homestead after that and all the good times like
Dinner
that
at No
there.
Jose's.
There we go.
We're on.
Dinner at No Way. Whoop, whoop. That's right. Anyway, guys, we will see you guys all next time.
Oh, SLR's not going live.
Just kidding. They're not going live tonight. I was not aware.
Hey, if we told y'all wrong right now, it's Tim's fault. He's the one that just said they were not going live tonight.
Yeah, I don't think he said. Well,
So
they'll just have to go look and see. But
in that case, go watch Drew's most recent video
there you go.
and figure out what happened with the
Why?
plumbing.
Yeah. Why is Jeff's house leaking because
Yeah.
of something Drew did or didn't do?
And
We'll see.
make a comment on that video and tell
And
him
say why you leaking.
Mike from 3 Mississippi said that do better next time. Okay.
All right, guys. We love you guys. We appreciate you for hanging out with us. Until next time, remember, safety's off. Gotta hit the button. Hot mic, hit the button, hit the button.